Yo, welcome to the latest edition of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Kevin Porter Jr. I don't know if anybody's been following this situation. Kevin Porter Jr., Houston Rockets point guard, is in trouble with the law for putting his hands on his girlfriend. Please like, comment, and subscribe. #salute. I see all the comments. Like I said, your comments can be featured on the next episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. And you know what my mantra is. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It might not be for you, but it might be for them. Before we get this show started, this episode is sponsored by...
This episode is sponsored by True Choice Insurance. Here at True Choice, we take a different philosophy when it comes to providing you with your insurance options. We emphasize the value of the products we offer, instead of playing on the fear of you not being protected in your time of need. True Choice is affiliated with more than 60 insurance companies. This makes us one of the most independent agencies in the state of Texas. Please visit TrueChoiceInsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Once again, man, shout out to my man Brian Kelly and his wife over there at True Choice Insurance. You guys get with them for all your insurance needs. Visit them on the website at www.truechoiceinsurance.com. Tell them K-Sap sent you. Well, you know, Kevin Porter Jr. is in the news. I mean, I don't know if you guys been following the story. It looks bad for Kevin Porter Jr. A talented guard out of, USC, was drafted in the late round. He was the 30th pick in the first round in 2019 by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He had a little extent with the Cleveland Cavaliers, but he found himself getting in trouble with the Cleveland Cavaliers, off-court incidents. It all stems back to his college days in USC. He was suspended at USC for 2 games for conduct issues. In 2020, Porter was involved in a one-car crash, charged with improper handling of a firearm. Also, he had marijuana, but the charges was later dropped. If y'all know the story, the backstory on Kevin Porter Jr., he was named after his daddy, which, Kevin Porter Jr., but Kevin Porter Sr., back in 1999, Kevin Porter Jr.'s father was involved in a dispute with a 14-year-old girl, which he brandished a handgun, forced her in a car, and he said that the gun accidentally went off and killed the young girl. So he was charged with murder, but he pleaded guilty to a lesser charge. And when he pleaded guilty to the lesser charge, he had to serve 4 years in jail. And Kevin Porter at the time was 4 years old. And his mother kept him away from the funeral because she wanted to have him with the fondest memories of his pops. And then later on, after his father got out of jail, he was killed in a bar fight. And at that time, like I said, Kevin Porter Jr. was only 4 years old, and his mother didn't want him to attend the funeral because she wanted him to have the fondest memories of his dad. So legal troubles and, lashing out by Kevin Porter Jr. has been the thing. Like I said, Cleveland Cavaliers took a chance on him. He was a highly coveted guard coming out of USC in 2020. Like I said, he was the 30th pick in the first round by the Cleveland Cavaliers. He got into it with, Silas, the coach. He had some incidents with John Lucas. Lucas, he's one of the biggest advocates for, drug abuse. He went down that path and he cleaned his life up, and he's a real advocate for that. And, Kevin Porter Jr. just, his outlashes, man, has got him in trouble. Recently, he was, sent, well, I ain't gonna say recently, well, he was sent home by the Cleveland Cavaliers and then traded to the Houston Rockets. The Houston Rockets took a chance on him, gave him a contract. I think it was 4 years, $85 million. And, he was in a Miami nightclub and he smashed the DJ's laptop and they had to get him out of there, just like issues after issues. But this latest incident, man, with his girlfriend, Charise Gadrazik, she's a former WNBA player. She's a free agent. She was the first round pick of the Indiana Fever, but now she's a free agent. And, they was in a hotel in New York this past Sunday, and, he put his hands on her. I mean, he beat her to a situation where it looked bad. And if it wasn't for, her running out of the hotel, bloody, and, she went and told the authorities, and, Kevin Porter was arrested. But the prosecutors come out, say that she got a fractured vertebrae, damage over her eye. She could barely breathe. And you don't have to have video evidence of that. Like back in the days when Ray Rice's incident, with his wife in the elevator, that was caught on surveillance, and that kind of doomed Ray Rice's career. And what happened to him with the Baltimore Ravens, he was sent packing. So I just think at this time, Kevin Porter Jr.'s NBA career is on the line. Me personally, if these reports are true, these are just allegations right now. But if these reports are true, he shouldn't be able to find his way on the NBA basketball court again. Just so young, so talented. He's just really thrown his NBA career away. And I'm not going to say that goes, from his upbringing, but, he was raised by a single mother. I guess he just had fondest memories of his pops, but I know that he knows the situation that happened to his pops. He knows his pops was incarcerated. He knows his pops was killed in a bar fight, because some of the games that the Houston, Rockets was televising, there was, incidents, compared to when Kevin Porter Jr. would make a three and he would put the, gun, the gun symbols up there, like bang, bang. One of the reporters referenced to, well, that's what his daddy did in the, when he shot that little girl. So it's been things referenced to that. So it's well known, but this situation is sad, man. If the reports are true, he shouldn't be able to see his way on the basketball court again. And, reports out of the NBA, Malika Andrews and Adrian Wojnarowski, they touched on it. And we're going to listen to what Adrian Wojnarowski and Malika Andrews had to say. And then when we get back, I'll tell you more about it.
Meanwhile, Houston Rockets guard Kevin Porter Jr. was arrested and charged with assault and strangulation after allegedly assaulting his girlfriend at a New York hotel on Monday morning. That's according to a New York City police spokesperson. And at Porter's arraignment today, prosecutors, they said the attack left a woman with a fractured neck vertebrae. So, Woj, how are the NBA and how is the Houston Rockets approaching this?
Yeah, the league's launched an investigation, Malika, and they'll handle it in the near term. I think the Houston Rockets, and just by the bylaws, they can't suspend him. They can't waive him while this investigation's going on. But Adam Silver could put Kevin Porter Jr. on administrative leave. But certainly, I think his future in Houston is very much in jeopardy. I think his future in the NBA, given Kevin Porter Jr.'s going back a number of years to the USC, Cleveland Cavaliers, the Houston Rockets, problems have followed him. And there have been teams, certainly Cleveland drafted him late in the first round and essentially gave up on him. And you look at his contract in Houston, it was a very team-friendly deal, non-guaranteed money after the first year. They would be on the hook for about almost $17 million if the Rockets were to waive him once he's either convicted or the league comes down with a penalty. But there's no question Kevin Porter Jr.'s future, not just with the Rockets, but in the NBA, I think is very much in peril. These are extremely serious allegations.
Kevin Porter Jr. was released on bail and is due back in a Manhattan court on October 16th. Now, as you mentioned, Woj, he was set to begin the first year, or rather is, of a 4-year, $63 million rookie extension this season. Woj, as always, thank you for...
Wow. And when you hear Woj talking about things like that, you know, because he's an NBA reporter, and he's talking about his future is unclear, and what he said about the commissioner, you know, he's on administrative leave. That's significant. You know, the reasons for him being moved out of Cleveland, it wasn't because of his talent, it was because of his off-court issues. He lost his cool in 2021 season, began yelling and throwing things at the Cavs locker room after a trade brought in a new player, resulted in his own locker being moved. It's certain situations, man. You know, he got into a confrontation with the Cavs GM, Kobe Alterman. I mean, it's certain things like that. And then he was eventually traded to Houston. So when he was traded to Houston, you know, things, you know, turned for the worse. He was briefly suspended in 2021 in the 2022 season after reported altercations then with Rockets head coach Stephen Silas. Another locker room outburst. The NBA fined him like $50,000 for that. And then April of 2021, in violating the league's health and safety rules by visiting a Miami strip club. I mean, he was just out of pocket. And the most recent serious matters defined in the NBA career, the arrest of assaulting and severely injuring his girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So documents widely reported about the case alleged Porter repeatedly punched her in the face and strangled her. Now that's detrimental. You know, like Malika Andrews said, you know, he's due back in court on October 16th. He was released on, you know, bond. So, man, we got to keep a close eye on this, man. So you guys let me know what y'all think in the comments, man, about the Kevin Porter Jr. situation. I mean, it's sad. I mean, domestic violence, you know, you can't put your hand on a woman. You know, a person like me, I got 2 girls and myself, and, you know, you don't want things like that to happen. So you guys let me know in the comment section how y'all feel about the situation with the Kevin Porter Jr. Do you think he should still be in the NBA? Do you think his NBA career should come to an end? You give a lot of people have a lot of opportunities, man, and they just blow it. I'd love to have the opportunity that Kevin Porter had, you know, but unfortunately I'm doing this podcast thing, so I'm talking about it. So guys, man, let me know what y'all feel. Well, let me know what y'all think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And that's going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We'll catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
Another one.